Namaskar, friends. A warm welcome to all of you. And today we are going to have our third day webinar in collaboration with the Rangayan Festival of Art and Literature. This is a very special program and specially designed, that is Pravasi Manch. तो ये मित्रों, ये जो कार्यक्रम है प्रवासी मंच, मैं सबको स्वागत करता हूं। शुभ संध्या सबको। और फिर मैं मेरे मित्रों को जितने सारे बाहर भी हैं, यूट्यूब लाइव में हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, सबको मैं स्वागत करता हूं, आमंत्रण करता हूं, हमारे साथ जुड़े रहे। ये एक स्पेशल प्रोग्राम है प्रवासी मंच। और ये प्रवासी मंच हमारे साथ 3 पैनलिस्ट है और एक मॉडरेटर है, who is chairing the session, and they will talk on the diasporic writers and their writings. And all are actually Assamese writers, but they are staying different places. So, may I welcome Mitra Fukanji, who is chairing the session. Mitra ji, namaskar. Or may I request the panelists? We have 3 panelists: Janhavi Barua, Lahori Barthakur, Mita Bardolei. मैं सबको स्वागत करता हूं, आमंत्रण करता हूं हमारे साथ जुड़े रहने के लिए। Diasporic writers and their writings. This discussion among 3 participants with a moderator aims to understand the motivations, the inspirations of writers who are from this region of India's northeast, but are for various reasons currently living outside the region, whether in other parts of India or outside the country. Yet their writings keep returning again and again to the land where they have their roots, where in their fiction or in non-fiction. एक बात है, मिले सुर मेरा तुम्हारा, ये सुर बने हमारा। जहां भी हो, जिधर भी हो, लेकिन मदरलैंड का जो अट्रैक्शन, अफेक्शन, ये जरूर रहता है। मिले सुर मेरा तुम्हारा, ये सुर बने हमारा. This discussion will explore why this is so, why the memories gives rise to the contemporary stories, and how they fuse the recollections of the land that has been left behind with works of contemporary relevance. It will also explore the difficulties, if any, doing this. So it is a most warm welcome to all the participants. May I have this chance to introduce all of you. This session will be chaired. The moderator is Mitra Fukan, is a writer, translator, columnist, and trained classical vocalist who lives in Guwahati, Assam. Her 13 published literary works include 4 children books, a biography, 2 novels, The Collector's Wife and The Monsoon of Music, and a collection of 50 of her columns, Guwahati Gauge. She also has a collection of short stories, A Full Night's Thievery. Her short stories have appeared in various journals worldwide, and her works have been translated into many languages. As a translator, she has worked with some of the best fiction writers in Assamese, translating from Assamese to English. Her latest work of translation is Guilt and Other Stories, a collection of short stories of Harakrishna Deka. She also edits and puts together collections, both fiction and non-fiction, for well-known publishing houses. She writes extensively on Indian music, both as reviewer and essayist. Her works, both novel and short stories, are taught in many colleges and universities. Her work has been extensively anthologized. So many works have been selected for the anthologies of different languages. And we have 3 panelists Janhavi Barua is an Indian writer based in Bangalore, next door Penguin India in the year 2008. Her debut collection of short stories was longlisted for the Franco Kerner International Short Story Award. Her next, a novel called Rebirth, Penguin India 2010, was shortlisted for the Man Asian Literary Prize and Commonwealth Writers Prize. The third, Undertow, a novel, was published by Penguin Random House India Viking Look Books in February 2020 and was longlisted for the JCB Prize for Literature 2020 and the BLF Atta Galata Book Prize 2020. It won the Best Fiction Prize in the Author Award 2021. Her first fiction has been widely anthologized and her work is part of several university syllabus. Janhavi is a qualified doctor but does not practice medicine. She was born in Guwahati and raised between Assam, Meghalaya, Delhi, and Manchester. So it is a warm welcome to Janhavi also. And we have other panelists, Lahori Barthakur, born in Assam, has been living in UK since 1968. She has worked in British civil service. She has been deeply involved with activities of Assam Sahitya Sabha UK and was president for the term of his prestigious organization. In this capacity, she has worked with these who are into cultural activities and has been organized cultural events to keep the flame of the homeland alive in the distant land in various ways. She also edited the organization's newsletter and journal, which were forum for the members of Assamese community to express their literary creativity to various ways. She continues to carry on this work in her capacity as an advisor to the organization Assam Sahitya Sabha of United Kingdom. So Lahori ji, a warm welcome to you. And the another participant, Mita Bordoloi, lives in Galen Carbon, USA, writing mostly for children. Her books are based in her homeland. She was very familiar as a child with the environs of Kaziranga, that is in Assam. Her books often have stories about animals and aim to inculcate environmental awareness in children. Her books so far include the very well received Burmunui Banana Trees, which has been translated into many languages. She has donated 500 copies of the Assamese version of the book to the NGOs such as Aranyak, Wildlife Trust in India, Hathi Bandhu, etc. for distribution to children at the grassroots level living in the elephant corridors. Some of her other books are Bulbulis Bamboo, Tulika Books, Chennai, Bomonis Banana Trees, and the Riding Wild Elephants, Me Genius, Newark. The Queen's Game, Me Genius, Newark. The Tiger Mom, Me Genius, Newark. Fuleswari, The Flower Princess, Me Genius, Newark. These are the publishers. Besides, she has also published short fiction and non-fiction in journals both in India and US. So we have very significant three writers, translators, socio-cultural activities with us, and the moderator also. So it is my humble request to the moderator, Mitra Fukanji, to start this program with other three persons and the listeners, the visitors also. So Mitra ji.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sahu. At the outset, I'd like to thank Sahitya Akademi for this wonderful platform, which, as far as I know, is a very unusual platform of Pravasi writers. And of course, Rangayan Festival of Arts and Cultures, Arts and Literature, who are also in this together. So thank you so much. And I really look forward to listening to these wonderful, wonderful panelists that we have, and who have made such a mark for themselves in various ways, different ways. One is primarily a fiction writer, one is primarily a children's writer, and the other one is an activist. Ras Baido is an activist, and also she holds together the activities of the diaspora, diaspora writers in UK. So it's wonderful finally to all be on the screen. We have been talking and discussing. So I shall begin maybe with Mita. Mita, hi.
Hello.
And yeah, and so I would like to begin with how, this journey of yours as a writer. I know that you are based in US, but you spent a lot of time in Kaziranga. I know that because of your family.
Oh, hi. Thank you for having me here. So I came to writing late in my life. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Did you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, then it froze for a minute, for a few seconds.
Yes.
Well.
Oh, please, Mita. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thank you all for having me here. I came to writing life quite late compared to you all. But the seed was planted long ago, as most of us who come from a bookish family. My grandfather was the editor of the Assam Tribune and also a Sahitya Akademi recipient. And my grandmother, Sudha Borua, she wrote stories for children. My father was the editor of the Janambhumi before joining Assam Oil Company and then pioneering the tourism project in Kaziranga. So it was there, but it came to me late. And I have been writing since last 9 years. So, and it seems I left off in Kaziranga and picking up from there. So it's mostly about elephants and tigers and the animals that feature in my stories.
Right. I'll come back to you. So then, Jahnavi, maybe we can have yours. How you've been writing, and you've been very prolific, I know. So just a brief intro to how you came to writing, and you have trained as a doctor, but you're not practicing anymore. So medicine's loss is literature's great gain. So can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me here today. Thank you, Mitra Baido. Thank you, Sahitya Akademi, Dr. Sahu. And I'm so happy to be here with the brilliant Mita Baido and Lahori Baido. To answer your question as to how did I come to writing, I always say I'm an accidental writer. I came to writing accidentally. As you mentioned, I'm a trained doctor. And when my son was born 20 years ago, I took some time off medicine. He wasn't too well when he was born, and I thought I would spend some time with him at home, look after him, always intending to come back to medicine. There were no plans to do anything else. But as life happens, and all of us know, twists and turns happen. And my son took about 4 years to get better. And I used this time to read and read a lot. One of my passions growing up, as Mita Baidu said, when you're from a bookish family, my mother taught English. Our house was filled with books. And at breakfast, we talk about the Bronte sisters or Jane Austen and Dostoevsky. And we grew up in that environment. And it was very natural for me to read throughout childhood and young adulthood. And when I had 4 years to myself, after 9 years being in a hospital every day, I began reading a lot. I continued reading a lot. Somewhere along the line, we always use a cliche that if you have to be a writer, you have to be a reader first. If you read, you will write. Something sparked inside me. I read, and suddenly at one point felt that I had something to say. Perhaps it was also the immediate environment, my circumstance of being at home with this child after being outside all the time in a very intense environment of a hospital with questions of life and death and emergencies and so much of human interaction. So at this time, I reflected a lot. It was a time of some amount of introspection. And I felt I had something to say, and I found the words to say it. In a way, perhaps I was responding to the situation around me. I was alone. I was looking back at early childhood, adolescence, young womanhood, marriage, and various other settings. And I found to respond to that, the best way for me was to write. And that is how I became a writer.
Okay, thank you. Of course, I'd like to say at this point that our three participants are from three different parts of the world. Mita is, of course, from the US. It's been mentioned, but still, I'd like to reiterate. And Lahori Baidu is from the UK. And Jahnavi, though in India, she's also a Pravasi because she's in Bangalore. There's a distance here. And I would just like to say that at this point, being a diaspora, being a Pravasi, is not the same as what it was before, because people are always coming and going, coming and going. So that sense of maybe loss or something that, you know, the earliest migrants had, it's probably not there in the writings of you people, maybe. We'll explore that a little later, and how it impacts being a diaspora, how it impacts your writing. But before that, we'll come to Lahori Baidu, who has been doing some excellent work, putting together and meeting and generally pulling the whole Assam Sahitya Sabha of UK together. So could we have a little bit about your story?
Namaskar. I'd like to thank Sahitya Akademi, Dr. Sahu, and I'm so pleased to be here today. And also, I was a bit apprehensive because I thought I'm the only one, and I'm not a writer, I'm not a publisher. And all the eminent writers here today, I feel a bit apprehensive. But now when I heard your speech and everything, I thought that at least I can tell you what I have done and how I'm going to do, hopefully. So, I was born in Assam, and I came to this country, to UK, in 1968. And the beginning, initially, we came for only for 3 years, but after all these years, we're still here. And my husband, Dr. Anil Bhattacharya, he passed away in 2018. And so I am at the moment sorting out things myself. And then I have 3 grown-up sons and 4 grandchildren. And in 2009, I became the president of Assam Sahitya Sabha UK branch. UK Sahitya Sabha was established in 1998 by then President of Assam Sahitya Sabha, Dr. Nagan Sharkya, and few other persons here, like Dr. Dugan Kalita and all my husbands as well, they formed this branch here that we should do work for our language and for our country. So I was elected anonymously that time. And then before that, I was vice president for 2 years. We are promoting our language, our culture, the heritage, and also we, Assam Sahitya Sabha UK, we call it ASU. We try to promote our language mainly, and we do whatever our community needs, and to promote and propagate our language and also our heritage culture. So actually what we did, we host 3 programs, 3 events in a year. It is called AGM, Annual General Meeting, and Sahitya Sanskriti Diwas in July. And then in Shankar Jayanti, that's Shankar's birth celebration in October. And also Shilpi Diwas. Shilpi Diwas is we offer tribute to our artists like Bhupen Hazarika and Lakshmanath Bajburua, Jyoti Prasad Agarwal, all this. So we do every year, we pay tribute to our famous artists. And what actually we feel that nation is recognized by its language, literature, and culture. So we feel that we are really blessed as Assamese community in this country. We are blessed with and because we inherit a very rich culture, rich language, and literature that to contribute to in India and to world as a whole. So in 2011, ASU, we compiled and we produced bilingual newsletters that everybody could produce, write all the diaspora, they could write and they express their views, and then we could circulate that all over. So that was really everybody appreciated that. Because what we do, we invite a lot of artists from India, from Assam mainly, or to do dance, music, and Sanskritic lecture, all this we do. And but before it, we did Indira P.P. Bora, Prabhat Sharma, Manaka P.P. Bora, Dina Rajkumari Goswami, and the Akshay dancer and folk dancers. That we can tell our new generation, the young generation, to give a feedback of our own culture.
Yes,
So,
Nauri Baido, I'll come back to you. We can discuss this. Yeah, this is the journal, I know. So we'll come back to you. In the meantime, I would like to ask maybe Mita to begin with again. The next question is that how, I mean, in your works, because I can see from this beautiful background also that it's very much Assam, very much a bunch of bananas and a little dog and whatnot. So how is it that you are mostly, maybe not in your short stories, but certainly in your children's books, you are rooting it in a land that you have left some time ago? And yet in your stories, you come back to it repeatedly. So, and also for children. And also then I would like you to say a little bit about, I know that you do workshops for children in US, you do some meetings, virtual meetings and so on. And how is your work received, since it's so rooted in Assam, in a different culture? And also, did you have any problems getting it to the publishers in another land? Just these a few things.
Okay. Well, we are at a time where world is becoming small.
Absolutely.
And people understand cultures from far off, as there is Google and other stuff. But it depends. I usually sort out publishers here as well as in India. And Tulika responded wonderfully. So since my Tulika books are based in India, and it stemmed from seeing lots of plastic trash on the streets and streams. I had this feeling of celebrating the renewability, the biodegradability, and the sustainability of bamboos and bananas. And so I thought it should, if I publish it in India, they publish in 9 Indian languages. And this time they published for the first time in Assamese for my latest book. So I thought it'll help the children where it's needed, because I was told some children in the cities haven't seen a bamboo tree, or even in India.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I thought maybe we could bring these awarenesses to children all over the world. In the US, they respond well, but publishing industry is very cutthroat here, and one needs to go through agents, and that's a difficult process. And I just try to go the easier way, straight, without getting hold of. So far, I did well, but eventually I might need an agent to be published more here. So those are the constraints.
Of course. And when you're beginning a story, you said that it's because you saw that the children of Assam also, maybe in the urban areas, didn't know bamboos. So are you kind of focusing on a particular kind of children's audience, or as somebody from the diaspora, what is your feeling?
Well, I'm thinking, I was thinking of the children benefiting from these books more in India, because they are at the grassroots level, they are always dealing with elephants and tigers attacking there at the grassroots level. And
yes. Can we see if you have a book, the cover? Can we see a bit?
Okay. Can you see? Oh, I don't know. Because of my virtual background, perhaps. Sorry about that. Maybe.
Okay, never mind.
Anyway, I wish I knew this. But yeah, I have in
you can, Mita ma'am, you can show the book in the background, keeping you as the background.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Can I?
Now you, yes, like this.
Okay, nice. One is banana trees. How nice.
Okay, and this is the Assamese one for the first time.
Right. You've been translated into many languages, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So that's really wonderful. This and as you said, and as is well known, these days you don't like go and then not returned for 40 years. People are, I think, in winter, before this pandemic, in winter, the diaspora would be here. And in summer, we would be the diaspora and go there.
Yes.
So
the world
has
become smaller.
Much
Definitely.
smaller. And also these, the way we communicate all the time and WhatsApp and all.
Sure.
Jahnavi, so because you, in your works, Guwahati, in your novels and short stories, Guwahati, Assam, Brahmaputra, it's very much a part of it. And yet you're in Bangalore. I think in most of your work, you are oscillating between Bangalore and Assam and all. And you do root some stories in Bangalore, but I think always Assam is at the base of your stories. How does that mentally, how does it come to you? Why is it like that? And how is it that you meld these two places?
So I'll begin where I left off last time, where I said writing for me is a way of responding to my immediate environment. And like all of us in the diaspora, I think what we felt in the early years was this huge ache, this huge nostalgia for what we have left behind. And Bangalore, mind you, although it is in India, when I came here 30 years ago, was as far as Singapore or Hong Kong. It took me 2 flights, a night stay in Calcutta. I remember my father couldn't meet his father when he passed away because he had to halt that night in Calcutta. And by the time he got to Guwahati, my grandfather had passed away. In today's day, as you said, the world is smaller and we have a direct flight. So the world has grown smaller. But in the early years, the constant feel was one of a deep ache of loneliness. And if you look at my first collection, a collection of short fiction called Next Door, the stories are not only set completely in Assam, but in an Assam of my childhood, in the late 60s, early 70s, going up to perhaps the 80s and early 90s of the agitation, the insurgency. It was my way of responding to my loneliness or my feeling for my motherland. My stories were based around a family, grandfathers, aunts, uncles, everything that I missed, everything I had left behind. So possibly my diasporic writing stemmed from that feeling of losing something going behind. But as you mentioned, Mitra Baido, the world has compressed and we now come and go, but this has led to a new condition, something which I call of not being of either here nor there. Yes, it's true. We come back more frequently to Assam. Like you said, in winter, all of us head to Ahom and meet up with family. We do the bonfires, we do New Year. But every time I go back, a feeling grows in that I don't maybe recognize many things here anymore. There is a little bit of a feeling that this is different from what I left behind. So this new accessibility of going back and forth has led to a new feeling of where are we really from? Is that the place I left behind? And I would ask the other ladies, Mita Bai and Lahori Baido, do they feel the same way? Do they see things in our home now which perhaps they don't recognize, which wasn't there when they left? So this is a new condition, thanks to this new access that we have. So in my later books, in Rebirth and Undertow, the new book which came out last year, as you said, the stories oscillate. They move from Guwahati to Bangalore, Bangalore to Guwahati. And these questions, the protagonist in my last novel, Loya, a young woman of 25 who's never been to Assam before, goes back to Guwahati to search for her grandfather. And she brings up all these questions. I think through her, I bring up these questions. Where am I from? Am I from Bangalore? Am I from Ahom? I've been 30 years in Bangalore. So yes, this is a second home. Yet all my roots, going back thousands of years, are in Ahom. You know, when Bohag Bihu comes and the huli sounds are heard, I mean, your heart resonates, right? So sometimes I think we in the diaspora do feel, where are we from? Yes, we are rooted heart, soul in the motherland we came from, but we have also found new homes and our old home has changed. So I explore all these situations in my fiction.
Yeah, thank you. That's very, very interesting. And as you said, you know, the Assam you left behind, it has changed.
Yes.
But I live here, and I find the changes also. You know, after 2 years, when I'm going out now, after 2 years of the pandemic, I find that, okay, physically the place has changed, people have changed, people have aged so much, and we are creating new ways of living. So I think that is what strikes, I think, the Pravashis more, because they come after a gap, whether it is 1 year or 6. But we who live here, we also see these things, and especially older people like me. So I think that's inevitable. I mean, that's part of life, and it leads to a lot of beautiful writing in your case, both your cases. And Baido, you have also done a lot. So Baido, Lahori Baido, could we, you were just about to show us the journal. Could we have a look at that, please?
Yes, of course. I will tell a few things about the journal. Now,
Yes.
I have there. Yes, this is the one. This one was 2018.
And I know that, the diaspora, whether in UK or USA, they're doing marvelous things. Mita, I don't know if you go to these Assam Sahitya Akademi in the US and all, but they also bring out a journal, and it's fantastic, wonderful stuff. So this is kind of like a branch of the Sahitya Akademi and the literature. Yeah, so tell me. Tell us.
Something?
No, it's your turn, please.
Oh, well, this is, I feel that it is the expression, the journal, or newsletter as they call it. It is that it brings out the expression and also creative talent of the diaspora. A lot of our children have written, and they both Assamese. I did Assamese because I am the only one who can write Assamese in computer. And so it is I feel it is a mouthpiece. This newsletter is a mouthpiece of ASU, that we express and we publish the photographs and all the events, and who, if any children succeeded, anybody, babies born, everything we put it into there. So I think a lot of jokes, a lot of our, like a speech, lots of things we want to do. And what I do, actually, most of them I compile, I edited, but my executive committee, mainly secretaries, they always help me. And I never in my, I talk about this, I do not take any decision myself. I always, any proposal, anything comes, I always call a meeting of our executive committee, and we do everything collectively. Then we produce newsletters, and then that's how we do things in there. So this is the thing, and I feel that we are doing some Sahitya Sabha, and because we are uniting our group, our community as a whole. Because in Assamese community in UK, it is a small community compared to other communities. And another thing, because of the lot of children, our children don't speak Assamese, but other communities, they all at home they speak. So now we are introducing that at least my children, they don't speak Assamese. So I feel I'm guilty about it. But now all the children, what I feel, even when we went to Assam, the children, those who goes to the English schools, they don't speak English, they don't speak Assamese at all. I met some parents, I said, why you are talking in English to them? They said, no, because they speak English in the, I said, no, it is your duty as a parent to teach them Assamese. That is very important, I feel. So that is what we think in here, that we should, we feel in ASU, that the root, our children should know our roots, where we come from, where their grandparents were born. So that is very important. Only a week ago, I have seen the one 45-year-old man, English person, he went all the way to a garden in Dibrugarh, it's called Siliguri, because he was born there. So this sort of thing I feel that it is important to hold the roots, and also that we can sort of that we can hold a whole community together, and also what host country and our own country we should be together. That's what I feel, and that is what I am as an advisor at the moment to Assam Sahitya Sabha. So we hope it will go a long way. That's what I feel.
Thank you so much, Baidu. Yes, I know that the new reality is that there are writers everywhere, and it's wonderful that people do not let geography or their locational, where they are at the moment, they don't let that interfere in a way with where they are. I know there are young people in, for instance, Singapore, and of course, UK, USA is where the primary diaspora is mostly there from Assam. So yes, I would like to have a few readings, please, if it's possible. I think there is time.
So madam, I want to actually invite our convener, Dr. Pravasi Manch. He is with us. He is
right, there he is. Yeah.
So it is, sir, it is a very warm welcome to you, Dr. Bora.
Thank you. Do
Hello.
you hear me?
Yes, sir.
We can hear you.
It's so nice to see you all. It's really nice that for the first time we are holding this Pravasi Manch from the Sahitya Akademi about the authors. খুব ভাল লাগিছে আপোনালোক সকলোকে দেখা পায় আৰু ভাল লাগিলে লাহৰি বাইদেউৰ কথাখিনি শুনি মিত্ৰৰ কথাখিনি শুনি খুব ভাল লাগিছে
Sir, may I request you for the concluding remarks at the end?
You want me to give the concluding remarks?
Yes, sir. At the end, you will be give the concluding remarks. Okay, please be with us. No, sir, there are actually, this is continuing. When the Mitra ji will say that it will be ended, then we'll listen to your concluding remarks.
Okay.
Please go ahead, Mitra ji.
Yes. So I would like to, end our section, and then we can have maybe questions among each other or the audience with a little bit of reading, 2-3 minutes, so that we get a flavor of what the diaspora is writing about. So again, we'll go in sequence. Mita, please, from your latest book.
Okay, from
Bhumani.
Okay.
We can't see. Yeah. Bhumani and the banana trees. Yes.
All right. Bhumani's banana trees.
Okay.
Bhumani's big backyard is bursting with banana trees. Bhumani eats all the bananas she wants whenever she wants. Bhumani's father cuts the long banana stems to make a boat to go fishing in the river.
Okay, but
Bhumani's brother makes bowls from the banana stems, and her mother chops the banana blossoms. Bhumani's sister lays out the banana leaves. They all sit down to eat their dinner, banana blossom, fish curry, and rice. After that, they toss the banana leaves into a pit where the cows will come to eat them. On the other side of the river, near Bhumani's house, is a big national park. Bhumani hears sounds of different birds, of huloks, rhinos, tigers, elephants, and other animals that live there. She even sees some of them by the river at sunset. One night, a herd of wild elephants crosses the river. They trample all over Bhumani's big backyard, eating bananas and banana leaves. The next night, the elephants come back again. They eat more bananas and more banana leaves. The third night, the elephants come back again. They gobble more bananas and more banana leaves. Bhumani's family is very upset. The elephants have to be stopped. Bhumani, her brother, and her sister make long bamboo torches to chase them away. Then Bhumani remembers something. Didn't they use citronella grass to keep away elephants in the Digboy oil fields? She asks. Yes, you're right, replies Bhumani's brother. They smile at each other. Now they know what to do. Bhumani's family plants citronella grass all around the banana trees. That night, when the elephants come, they stop. They sniff the air, then slowly they turn around and go back across the river. Bhumani's father, mother, brother, and sister sleep in peace. Only Bhumani is worried. What will the elephants eat now? Bhumani asks her mother in the morning. Maybe sugarcane and rice paddy from the neighbor's fields, she says. Then the neighbors will be in trouble, thinks Bhumani. I know, she runs to tell her father something. Great idea, says Bhumani's father. Now when Bhumani paddles in her banana boat, in her mind is a happy picture. In the picture, the elephants are having a feast in their own home. The forest rangers have planted banana, sugarcane, and paddy in the national park. That was Bhumani's idea. Now everyone is happy, especially the elephants. The end.
That's lovely. That's a lovely story, Meeta. That's really nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. And I believe the translated version you have distributed among environmental groups,
Yes.
so that the children can get to know about this. And I'd just like to mention that my very first book is called Mamuni's Adventure. And it's about a little girl.
Sugar canes, right?
Sugar canes. She does it with
Yes.
sugar canes.
I
And
saw that
thought-
yesterday. Yeah, I'm so happy. Yes.
Yes, and I was thinking different little girls are doing almost the same.
Mhm.
So another bit of reading, please, from maybe Jahnavi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I read a very short piece. This is from
Yeah.
one of my short stories in my very first book, the book called Next Door.
Okay.
And the story is called Holiday Homework. It's about a solitary old man who lives alone in Guwahati. Children far away, some in Australia, some in America. And the friendship he forges with a young woman and her little son who moved in next door to him. And again, as I said, I think our writing stems from our experiences. Our writing stems from memories. Memory is such a big part of a writer's toolkit. It also stems from the feeling of missing home. So in this story, this particular section is when the old man asks the young woman to sing him a hymn that he heard through his life. And it's a hymn that my grandmother would sing very often to us, and one that stayed with me. And I incorporated it into the story. So many of you may know this. So the section starts like this. Amrita, that's the young woman, smiles. The old man had asked her, do you know this hymn? So Amrita smiles and says, yes, as a matter of fact, I do know that one. She gathers Hun into the crook of her elbow. That's her son, little son called Hun. And she says, come now, she tells him, at the count of 3. I hold my breath, I being the protagonist, the old man. Mother and son begin to sing. A section of the hymn. Ki diya pujim hori hai, sorono murari, Ram Ram, sorono murari, tumar pujar pushpo napalu bisari, ki diya pujim hori hai. These words claw at my heart. They are so achingly tender. So much love and longing is couched in these simple, unassuming lines. So quietly are they offered to the Lord that their power cannot be denied. The devotee sings to his beloved, the Lord himself, telling him that he has not been able to find flowers for the Lord. How should he then worship him? Instead, the devotee goes on to offer flowers of his own device. As a first flower, he offers the relinquishing of envy. Then he offers others, reigning in all selfish senses, compassion for all living beings. The fourth flower, forgiveness, follows. The fifth, concentration. The sixth, worship. And finally, wisdom. He offered all these fervently and asks that the Lord forgive and overlook any mistake in the order in which the flowers are offered. He is certain that the Lord, the compassionate one, will pardon and bless him. This simple hymn has had an amazingly hold on me every time I have heard it, or even when I have heard it recited or merely thought about it. I have been transformed into something more than I was, into something wholly better, something purer. Some of the yearning, the devotion, the immense love that the unknown devotee felt for the God seeps into me, bit by bit, drop by drop, until I was drenched in that unalloyed grace. And this evening, I have been touched like never before by this mother and her son. So beautiful is their song, so perfect every note of the melody. I am overcome with emotion. I am undeserving, yet what a gift I have been given.
Lovely. Thank you. Yes, of course, I have read your book right when it came out.
Yes.
And yeah.
One
So,
thing, can I say one?
yeah, now,
Please,
yeah,
Judy?
please. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
of
what
course.
I am just to tell you that I am writing a book about my 50 years in this country. I am staying here. So I thought all my experiences, and also 58 years I lived with my husband. So I'm just writing a book just to leave a footstep behind for my children and grandchildren. So I don't know how long it will take, but maybe in the middle of next year. And
We look forward. We look
I-
forward to that.
I'd like to request you to kind of publicize when it is finished. I'll let you know all of it. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to say about your association, about the UK diaspora living there? And what are they writing? I know they do a lot of singing. That I know. I have seen videos and all, and they send me. But what exactly? I know there's some poetry being written. There's some short stories being written.
Yeah,
There's
lot of poetry is being written, and also a lot of stories, things I publish, and from India, and Amarjyoti Chaudhary have written about Vishnu Rabha, very nice article, and that was on 2015, and also Professor Khanin Pathak, he wrote a very nice article about Kedarnath. And our children here were born and brought up here. They have written a lot of small poems, and also that Mrinalini Devi, our CM, Chief Minister's mother, she came as a chief guest. It is 2015. She has written very nice article about that. And that's how a lot of articles and everything we compiled, and like this is another. Assamese bhasha ketia labh karibo Drupadi bhashar morjada, Dr. Sangita Satya. Then this lot of this Bitapi Dr. Pravin Hazarika and this Bhupen Hazarika's brother, he also wrote a lot of poems and stories. And I also did write a lot of my experiences and sort of my husband's poems and also his stories. So that's how we sort of amalgamate a lot of articles and things, and that's how we, I think that with academic we could publish anything. Maybe next year, I hope we do it again.
Yeah, no, and it's
yeah, another thing I would like that we try always to communicate with Assamese diasporas and Assamese here. And so one thing I would like to tell you that we brought a bhavna, Sampadak Samkhyanat bhavna, only this last 16th October. So in virtually, we did that, and everybody, it is really very authentic bhavna. We got it from Madhuri, and it was really great to do it virtually to everyone in Facebook and YouTube. I don't know, but in the Facebook we. And so that's how we thought. We're still doing bits and pieces, and we are doing all our events like Sampadanti, AGM on virtually nowadays, because that's how that we can do nowadays. And we thought it is hope and pray. I'm a religious person, and I always be a positive person. I always feel for a better tomorrow. And today I want to do my everyday prayer to all of you. Sarve sukhina santu, sarve santu niramayana, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Om shanti, shanti, shanti. Do you
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can we just translate this?
No, I think we all know this prayer. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
No,
Dr. Sahu.
wait. No, you don't go away just now. Don't go away.
No, I'm not going. I kept it. My person is just tonight.
No, so no, what is really interesting about what you said also is that the second generation of Assamese diaspora there, they are young people. They are writing in your newsletter, or in your journal. So that is a very, I mean, the culture, the diasporic culture, the roots are being kept alive. Even at this point, even through the younger. I know that in some countries they have classes in Assamese. I'm sure they do in of other languages also.
In America.
In the US,
yes.
yes.
Yeah, in the US, they are actually teaching in a very, very academic way, and also they're teaching them to even if the children are only, only one parent is Assamese, but they are taking pains to teach them through these classes, which is a wonderful thing. And I think this is the way our cultures move out, away from where we are, and they spread the fragrance of our culture, our literature. And one thing I wanted to say is that, of course, a lot of cultural activities are being done by the diaspora. The people are teaching dance, people are and performing, people are also singing and performing. But the thing about writing and literature is that it doesn't require much of an infrastructure. You sit in front of your laptop and you can turn out, I mean, you don't need the support of, tabla players or sitar players and so on. So this is, I think, people turn more readily to writing when you are away from the support of your musicians or your other people. So this is a wonderful thing. And I don't know if there are any questions, Dr. Sahu, because in the chat box, of course, there are none. But I think maybe we can question each other. Do we have any questions for each other?
The chat box is
Just
empty
for
now.
us.
Yeah.
It's just for us. Yeah.
So after your deliberation is over, so I will request Dr. Dhruva Bora for his concluding remarks. But
Right.
I don't think he is busy with other works.
He is
so
doing
maybe,
other things. But I
okay.
think, yes, more or less, does anybody want to say something else, add something else to this wonderful discourse?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
We can continue for another 5 minutes for discussion and question answer.
Definitely. So if
Please
there
go
are
on.
any questions among ourselves, there are actually lots of discussions we can do, but time is a constraint. So yeah, it's been wonderful. Is there anything you all want to say or bring to the table or what? But yeah, it seems not right now. So anyway, it's been wonderful, and thank you so much for joining this discussion. Thank you, Sahitya Akademi, for having this platform for these wonderful writers and activists. And it's been really nice. And thank you so much.
Thank you, all of you. So actually, I was thinking the convener of Assamese Advisory Board, Dr. Dhruva Bora, he will be with us, and we are eagerly waiting for his concluding remarks. But he is otherwise busy with other works. So we are deprived to listen his concluding remarks. So actually, yeah. And one thing from the very beginning, Meeta has mentioned that he has writing late. But is there any age for writing? I have a question that I can say one thing. Perhaps you have heard the name of the most important Odia fictionist, Fakir Mohan Senapati.
Yes.
Do you know he has started his writing at the age of 50? Nice. And he has written only 4 novels. And all the novels are masterpieces. After 50 years gathering the experiences, he has written only 4 novels and all are masterpieces. So I think Meeta should understood. So writing late does not mean so for other writing things, because you see, literature is the lifeline of a perfect human being. So if you are a perfect human being, then writing late or fast, that does
not matter.
Yeah. And one more thing I can say, she has written stories on elephant, tigers from Kaziranga, the background. But why not on rhinos?
It's there. It'll come.
But you have not mentioned it.
No.
Well, rhino is
okay. If it is there, then I am glad to read. So Mitra madam, can we conclude at this stage?
I think so. Since Dr. Bora is not here, I think at this point we can.
His telephone is also engaged. So then he is busy with other works.
He has some other.
My friends.
Yeah.
Yes, friends. It is a very nice meeting and a nice discussion in our platform, that is Webline Series, Literature Series, and it is a very specially designed program, Pravasi Manch. And I think all the panelists and moderator is happy with the discussion, and other participants from outside, those who are watching us, visiting us from YouTube Live, they are also happy with the discussion. So Sahitya Akademi is very much thankful to the panelists and moderator like Mitra Fukan and Janhavi Barua, Lahori Barthakur, Meeta Vardolai. I am very much thankful to you on behalf of Sahitya Akademi. Namaskar. A very nice meeting today, and I will expect this type of cooperation in future from my participants. and other visitors. Thank you all. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaskar.